Welcome, this is Ordos, and today I'm going to talk to you about Star Citizen. More in particular, I'm going to talk to you about the new Aegis Dynamics Reclaimer. It is a big bad mama jamma. The Reclaimers is classified as a salvage ship. I'll go ahead and read some of the little text, some of the little description and the tech specs for you. They say it's a perfect ship for venturing in the verse. So you can go out there, you can pretty much tear apart asteroids, looking for high value minerals, and pretty much just claiming them and be able to sell them. So it's also good for searching for lost artifacts. So if the reclaimer doesn't find it through its unmanned drones, or let's say your scouts, uh, the explorer ships, they end up finding some stuff and they can't really claim to it. They can call you out there, and I'm guessing you're going to split some of the profits. Or, you're going to work some kind of deal out, and you'll be able to pretty much break down these lost artifacts and find out what's so great about them. The cool aspects of the ship is it has a big ass multi-tool arm, which I believe if you look at the front of it when you're looking at the side profile view, I believe it's that little, looks like a pair of vice grips. I believe that might be the retractable arm which can go out and grab debris. I'm not sure how that's going to work, or if that is the exact arm, or if it's somehow inside of the underbelly and comes out. The ship itself has a pretty large cargo hold, so if you're not out there reclaiming, or you can't find anything to reclaim, what you can do is you can probably fill up, your cargo hold of normal freight, or you can fill up of half of normal freight, just in case on the way to another planet to sell your items, you do find something and you can go out there and consume it and get those raw minerals. So when you do finally get to your destination, not only do you have the normal freight items that you bought previously to sell, you also have the new salvage items that you can sell. That has two unmannable turrets and one mannable turret. They say some of the stuff can be switched out, so some of the hard points can be switched out for missiles or tractor beams or floodlights. Not sure the point of a floodlight besides looking cool and being sci-fi movie-ish by having cool floodlights that you can kind of shine at people. I don't see a practical reason for it because I don't know. Space is dark, but not that dark. So I think they just mean mostly cosmetic, which it comes with two floodlights, so I would not suggest putting floodlights on your turrets. You also equip it with scanners on those turrets and other salvage specific options. Don't know what the salvage specific options are. Maybe some kind of mining laser or something. We'll know in the future. We'll definitely know in the future. It also carries the unmanned drones I was talking about, the Surveyor class drones. I'm not sure on the range of those, that they have not talked about that, but it's pretty cool. Let's say you're in an asteroid field, and you're like, wow, instead of just scanning each and every single asteroid, let me send out my little mini fleet of drones, and they're going to scan all the asteroids for you, and they're going to ping back that, hey, this asteroid has Robertanium or whatever. And so you'll go out there and consume that asteroid while they're still searching around. Are these unmanned drones, can they be destroyed by enemy pirates and just accidentally getting destroyed and then you have to replace them? I'm imagining so, which will kind of suck. Will these drones have any kind of armament on them, like a really, really weak weapon? Will they have some kind of mining laser or anything? I do not know. I don't believe they will. I think they'll pretty much just be UAVs without any kind of weapon. As far as it has the cutter we talked about earlier, is they're going to have EVA recovery options, which they're going to have kind of a little cutter vehicle, which I'm guessing that's like a little floating platform that with little thrusters on there that you can go out and get harder to reach spots with this cutter. I'm guessing if you find like a derelict ship and you need to land on it instead, because you can't dock on it, instead of just floating out there with your little jetpack, which if you've already pledged you should have, you'll have this little vehicle that will actually be able to find a hole in the ship's hull and pretty much jump off and go exploring. Because it says it's going to carry tools and supplies and be able to transport recovered artifacts. So I'm not sure what tools and supplies you'll need. But I'm imagining you find an alien derelict ship, you board it, you're like, ooh, you find this big shiny energy source or whatever. You end up throwing it on some kind of hover platform with little jets, and then you kind of, like a dolly, and you end up bringing that dolly of alien artifact back to the little cutter and bring it back into the hull of your ship and sell it on the market or use it to somehow modify your ship. They haven't talked about that too much, but they do say there's going to be alien artifacts where you'll be able to modify some kind of ship systems. So that'll be rather interesting. The ship itself is pretty massive. It has a 158 meters in length, 95 meters from the beam, which is, the left to right, and the height of it is 50 meters. If you're looking at the engines of it, they look like they're fully rotatable because the ship itself does not have that many thrusters when you're comparing it to, say, like the Freelancer. Because this thing's a good 3 to 4 times the size of a Freelancer with the same amount of thrusters. So I'm guessing with those large engines that they're somewhat rotatable, so you can use those as major thrusters to kind of tilt yourself. I'm not sure. But that does look like that as far as the design and the pictures. The cargo capacity of the Reclaimer is 2,500 standard cargo units, whereas the salvage capacity is 20,000 standard cargo units. So I'm thinking the cargo capacity is separate from the salvage capacity, and maybe the cargo capacity can be just filled up with cargo you buy at a planet or space station. Or does some of your mining equipment that you'll have take up that cargo capacity to put it into the salvage bay, where I'm guessing there's like a machine that churns out and eats up all kind of unnecessary ingredients to get raw iron or raw metals or whatever. I'm curious to see how it's all going to work out. It does look like this ship could be used as a multi-tool ship, so you can use it for salvage capacity, or you can use it for pure transport. Not sure on the fuel efficiency of it, if it will be preferred like that. But I'm imagining you get a little bit of both worlds. Whereas if you get a pure merchant cargo vessel, like say the Banu Merchantment or the Freelancer Max, all you can do with that is cargo capacity. You can just bring stuff from point A to point B. Whereas this ship, so you get the same concept, plus you're able to salvage everything. Now, I am hoping with the salvage that you will be able to salvage enemy ships. So let's say some idiot started to mess with you, and with your weapons, oh, I forgot to mention that you do have 5-point defense weapons, which they have not really talked about or have not read anything about it yet. But point defense weapons are pretty much weapons that just kind of, it's like the AA guns on an old battleship. Anything that gets within range, they automatically start firing. So, will you be able to control these and fire them manually, or will they automatically fire whenever an enemy gets too close? Not sure. I'd love to see details about that. If anybody has information about that, please post it in the comments. But let's get back to where I was. So, say some 2 fighters ended up attacking you and ended up winning the day. Will you be able to salvage the debris from their ships? Will you be able to do that? That is an interesting concept, and I hope it is true because it is a salvage ship. I hope you're able to salvage things besides asteroids and ancient holes of alien artifacts. Because it would be a nice way to profit off of those who tried to mess with you and ended up failing. It'd also be very interesting for those who are pirate-minded. Is, let's say you zoom into a system, your pirate buddies are already harassing, say, a Banu Merchantman, and they ended up getting the cargo out, plus they vaped it. You can then be able to carry some of that cargo from the spoils of victory, plus you're able to salvage some of that Banu Merchantman to fill up your salvage bays. That would be interesting because everywhere else that to them the space wreck is nothing to them. It's not worth. It's not valuable. Whereas to you, it could be a potential gold mine. I think that'd be very interesting, and I hope that is an in-game concept. The crew capacity of this reclaimer ship is 5 persons. What all the jobs are going to be, not sure. I'm pretty sure you're going to have the obvious pilot, co-pilot. You're probably going to have a friend that's going to go run off, or NPC that's going to run off on a cutter. You're going to be a guy, maybe he can somewhat control the unmanned drones through a console system to manually fly around or manually scan certain asteroids. I'm pretty sure you're going to have another guy that's going to control maybe the salvage arm or do something with the salvage capacity. It'll be rather interesting. We're going to see. Power plant, that doesn't really matter at the moment. It's 2 6s. What does that mean? Nobody really knows. Max engine is 6 TR5s. What does that really mean as far as power thrust to weight ratio? How does that perform in outer space? We'll all see eventually. The maneuvering thrusters is 8 TR3s, which I said is not a lot. They are TR3s, so maybe that might help this ship rotate a little bit. Max shield is a 6. They haven't talked about what type of shield yet, and even then, once they do, what does that mean as far as the capacity that the shield can protect you from energy weapons? Don't know. We'll see that later on. But as far as the weapons that I talked about with the turrets, is 2 size 5 side turrets, and they said they can accept class 1 or 3 mounts, which I'm guessing those class 1 and 3 mounts are more for the mining equipment, tractor beams, and everything else. And I'm curious with tractor beams, since you already have a tractor beam, what is the need for multiple tractor beams? Do you need to tractor in 2 different objects at once and just get one lined up after the other? Or will certain objects that are too large need multiple tractor beams to pull them in? Interesting concepts. I, at this time, do not know. You also have a class 5 topside turret, which is the manable turret. So you can pretty much rotate, cover everything from the top view. So if you're in combat, try to make your top always face the enemy, I'm guessing. If you can't already, go ahead, face the enemy yourself, which I'm doubting. This ship is so big, I don't think you'll be able to constantly face your enemy from your front towards his ship, just because most of the time you're going to be harassed by fighters and other cutlasses and other such ships. So majority of times your main protection is going to be the class 5 topside turret. Now the 4 point defense weapons that I talked about previously, these are class 9s. That seems pretty badass. Don't know what the point defense weapons do as far as can you control them, are they automatic? Where they were positioned from the 3D viewer, I believe somewhat near the rear of the ships, because technically you don't have any protection from the rear, especially the bottom rear. Your underbelly is pretty much uncovered, so I'm guessing this point defense weapons are going to be located there. The additional equipment that is going to be coming with the Reclaimer is a reinforced cargo bay. What that means, I think, in my own opinion, is that later on when people try to blast open people's cargo bay doors to get the items to vape out so they can tractor beam it in and get out on there without having to harass you too much or without even trying to kill you. I'm guessing since it's reinforced that it will be a lot harder for them to do such a thing. So this is going to be a slight cargo vessel, which is going to be rather difficult to steal from. At least not without having to destroy most of the ship. The unmanned survey probes, that's obviously going to be pretty cool. Set of front floodlights. I don't understand the point of them. We shall see. The advanced density scanners, which I'm guessing is just used to scan asteroids to see what minerals they may contain, if it's worth mining up or not. The ship is jump capable because, I mean, obviously almost every ship is jump capable, but they for the amount they're asking for. And the idea concept behind this ship is you're going to have a jump drive, because if you can't go out to the depths, can't go into asteroids at different planets, it's fine your riches, then the ship is pretty much useless. So they already included it on there to allow you to jump around and explore. This ship, I think, is going to be pretty awesome. I have bought one myself, big purchase, and I think this ship's going to be pretty amazing. Especially, it's going to be a big helper for the guild, especially if you're in a guild where with a lot of bounty hunters or pirates, where there's going to be combat, because you'll be able to profit off of the debris of ships, which I'm hoping this is true, that normally nobody else can profit off of, because now you have access to money that to everybody else it's trash. So one man's treasure is another man's trash concept theory. I think this ship is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see the more concept videos of the inside, how the interior looks, and I really can't wait to get it in my hangar bay. This ship does come with the, I forgot the official term, but it's pretty much the asteroid hangar, which is quite a beauty. And it does fit in quite well with the design and theory behind this ship. And that is the Aegis Dynamics Reclaimer. It's going to be a beast. I can't wait to see future things, future videos on it, and future artwork, and I can't wait to see it in the hangar bay. My guild of AOD, we're going to have a great time using this. I have a lot of guys that already want to get on the cutter and fly around. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the verse.